For decades, the narrative of Europe's economy was clear. The industrious, fiscally prudent North, led by Germany, powering the continent forward, while the sun-drenched but seemingly spendthrift South lagged behind. Countries like Greece, Italy, Spain, and Portugal were often labeled the problem children of the Eurozone, consistently battling crippling debt and perennial deficits, seemingly always on the brink of needing another bailout from their more responsible northern counterparts. The memory of the Eurozone debt crisis, where these southern nations faced immense pressure to implement harsh austerity measures, is still fresh. Yet, remarkably, the tables have begun to turn. We are witnessing an extraordinary economic reversal, a profound shift in Europe's economic landscape. Consider the current state. France, a traditional economic pillar, is grappling with a deep budget crisis, its finance minister openly warning of the need for an IMF bailout. The once unshakable industrial powerhouse Germany has been caught in a prolonged economic downturn since 2019, struggling with 5 years of stagnation. Even traditionally stable economies like the Netherlands and Sweden are now flirting with recession, facing significant headwinds. In stark contrast, Southern Europe is experiencing a resurgence. Spain's economy grew by an impressive 2.5% in 2023, a staggering 5 times more than the Eurozone average, and it's projected to continue strong growth of 2.6% in 2025. Italy, once notorious for its political instability and debt, has seen its government adopt a surprisingly fiscally cautious and stable approach, gaining investor confidence. Greece, the poster child of the debt crisis, has achieved a remarkable recovery, seeing its credit rating lifted to investment grade in 2023, marking a significant milestone after years of struggle. Portugal, too, is outperforming expectations, achieving 1.9% GDP growth last year and continuing its upward trajectory. So what's driving this incredible turnaround? How did these nations, once considered the weak links, manage to not only recover, but actually outpace the economic giants of the North? Let's delve into the 4 main reasons behind Southern Europe's impressive rebound. The first reason, perhaps counterintuitively for some, is that austerity has, in a very limited but crucial sense, worked. After the Eurozone crisis erupted, these southern European countries faced immense pressure to engage in deep spending cuts and tax increases. This period of tough fiscal discipline, often met with widespread public protest and economic pain, was designed to rectify years of excessive borrowing. In the 1990s and early 2000s, the introduction of the euro inadvertently made it easier for southern European Eurozone states to borrow at significantly lower rates than previously possible. This led to a buildup of massive public debt. Portugal's debt-to-GDP ratio, for example, rose from 50% in 1999 to 70% in 2007, while Greece's hovered around 100% for most of the 2000s. After the crisis, these numbers exploded, with Greece's debt reaching as high as 170% of GDP, Portugal 130%, and Spain 100%. To secure bailouts from the EU and ECB, these nations were forced to implement tough austerity measures. The brutal public service cuts and years of economic stagnation were undeniably painful. However, this prolonged period of structural reforms has, over time, made southern European economies more fiscally prudent. They are now much better at balancing their books. For example, in 2024, Greece, Cyprus, and Portugal have managed to run budget surpluses, a stark contrast to their previous struggles. This puts them in the same league as fiscally strong nations like Ireland and Denmark. Meanwhile, Northern European powerhouses are now the ones struggling. France is battling a deficit of 5.4% of GDP, with debt above 110%, among the highest in the world. Even Germany faces a projected $170 billion budget black hole through 2029 due to weaker-than-expected tax revenues. The historical roles have indeed reversed. The second critical factor in Southern Europe's recovery is the European Union's monumental $800 billion COVID recovery fund, officially known as Next Generation EU. This unprecedented initiative, launched to help member states recover from the pandemic's economic fallout, has primarily benefited southern countries. Italy and Spain stand out as the largest beneficiaries, receiving 81.8 billion and 77.3 billion euros respectively in proposed grants. These funds are not just handouts. They are tied to ambitious national recovery and resilience plans, mandating significant investments in green and digital transitions, as well as crucial structural reforms. This massive financial injection has provided Southern European nations with the necessary capital to better manage their heavy debt burdens, which remained a concern even after years of austerity. More importantly, it has allowed them to finance and implement these long-overdue structural reforms, which are critical for modernizing their economies and boosting long-term competitiveness. Italy's government, for example, estimates that these EU funds alone will boost its GDP by a significant 3.4% by 2026. This common debt issuance and mutual support marked a historic step for the EU, transforming the narrative around intra-European financial solidarity. The third reason for Southern Europe's resilience lies in its relative insulation from the recent energy crisis. When Russia significantly reduced its gas supplies to Europe following the invasion of Ukraine, it sent shockwaves through the continent's energy markets. Northern European economies, particularly Germany, with its heavy reliance on Russian gas for its manufacturing industries, were severely impacted. Soaring energy costs led to reduced industrial output, higher inflation, and a general dampening of economic activity. Southern European countries, however, were less exposed to this particular vulnerability. Their industrial sectors are often less energy-intensive compared to the manufacturing powerhouses of the North. Furthermore, some southern nations have a more diversified energy mix, including a greater reliance on solar energy or access to LNG terminals, which helped cushion the blow of the gas supply shock. This meant they weren't as deeply affected by the energy price spikes and the subsequent industrial slowdown, allowing their economies to maintain more stable footing. Finally, Southern Europe has experienced a powerful and sustained boost from a post-pandemic rebound in tourism. With global travel restrictions lifting, there was a massive pent-up demand for holidays, and the sun, culture, and relatively lower costs of Southern European destinations proved irresistible. Tourism is a cornerstone of many Southern European economies, accounting for a significant portion of their total GDP and employment. Spain, a prime example, recorded a staggering $126.1 billion in tourism revenue last year, setting a new record. This momentum hasn't slowed, with revenues so far this year already up 7.2% compared to 2024. This influx of visitors has injected vital revenue into local businesses, supported job creation, and stimulated growth across various sectors, from hospitality and transport to retail and cultural attractions. The sustained recovery in tourism has acted as a powerful engine, driving economic activity and contributing significantly to the region's overall resurgence. While these four factors paint a compelling picture of Southern Europe's impressive comeback, it's crucial not to overstate these gains entirely. Despite the positive trends, significant challenges remain. Southern European countries, while improving, still grapple with historically high public debt levels compared to many of their northern peers. Wages in the South still lag behind Northern European counterparts, indicating that a fundamental productivity gap, though potentially narrowing, persists. The decade of stagnant growth, particularly in areas like innovation and digital transformation, means there's still ground to cover. Furthermore, global economic headwinds, potential geopolitical instability, and the long-term impact of aging populations across Europe will continue to test all economies, North and South alike. However, the recent turnaround is undeniably a testament to the power of fiscal discipline, committed structural reforms, and strategic European Union support. It suggests that the historic economic divide between North and South may indeed be closing, creating a more integrated and, hopefully, more resilient European economy for the future. Understanding these complex economic shifts and being able to analyze data is more important than ever. And that's where tools like Brilliant come in. Here at TLDR, we always want to stay on top of understanding the complexities of the world, whether that's through geopolitical analysis or breaking down intricate economic data. That's why we use Brilliant. Brilliant is an incredible, comprehensive online learning platform designed to help you become a better thinker and problem solver. It doesn't just give you answers. It teaches you how to approach and understand challenges in subjects like math, data analysis, programming, and artificial intelligence, all from the ground up. You don't need a fancy degree or hundreds of hours dedicated to studying. Brilliant gets you stuck in at the perfect level, allowing you to first start with mastering the foundational concepts, and then gradually helps you level up to increasingly challenging problems. Take their fantastic data courses, for example. Using real-world data from companies like Airbnb, Spotify, Starbucks, and more, you'll learn to see trends, parse, and visualize massive data sets, and ultimately make better-informed decisions. Whether you're just starting fresh or looking to continue your learning journey, Brilliant offers everything from basics, like data visualizations, to advanced topics like algorithms and regression models. So, to start tackling those problems and try Brilliant for free, visit brilliant.org/TLDR. You can scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description. By doing so, you'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription, and they'll know that you came from us, which really helps us out.